Live. Here we go. Says we're live. I'll trust them. They've been right so far.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have linked I have linked this on all my social media, so hopefully we'll see if anybody else shows up today that doesn't normally watch.
Oh,
Somebody that's
okay, cool.
enticed by a chat with Ellis Goodson. I mean to do that all the time and I always forget.
What does that's pretty cool. Decomposition book. What does that mean?
Oh, I was going to show you this. No, I've had this for a while. I bought it in August when we went to New Orleans, and I have not shared many drawings from this for no particular reason. It's flexible. It reminds me of, if you ever have one of those notebooks with the crinkly cover on it, the black, and I mean not crinkly, but it had a pattern.
Yeah. 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 It looks a little
You
like a
know that it's tape.
barcode or
It's
something. Yeah.
right. Well, it's sewn in the middle. It's got one big seam, and then it's tape bound.
Uh
So I
huh.
bought this, and it's a blank book.
Uh huh.
I bought this. It was cheap. Now the inside has this weird illustration on it by Tony Millionaire,
Uh huh.
and and so and then it's on the back. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that.
You know,
And
there.
I've it's well,
Well,
this has kind of become my go-to sketchbook because I bought a high dollar leather bag recently, and it's a little tight for my hardcover sketchbook. So I carry this with me, and I'll doodle at lunchtime.
uh huh.
And I don't think I've ever shown you this. I took it on vacation, and I didn't have anything on it for a long time. And I stamped. We went to a national park, and I stamped it with the national park in Pensacola. And then I put a Ron John Surf Shop sticker on the front and on the back, and then I bought a Barnes and Noble book and I stuck that on there.
Oh,
But I was going to show you. This is kind of nice because it's got a little bit of, it's kind of cardboard, but not super heavy. And so I've been drawing, and the paper's pretty decent. It's,
yeah.
I've got some moleskins, and I've decided. Now you've seen that. Some of this stuff you've seen.
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just basically I've been trying. I know you've seen that. Surely
Uh
you've
huh.
seen that shadow drawing I did. I was pretty
I think
happy with
so. I
that.
think so. Yeah.
And it's got a just. I mean, I haven't drawn a lot in it, but a little bit. I work on figure drawing stuff. It's kind of the book that I don't really show people because it's almost like and it was like $9, and it's got 120 pages of paper, so it's not a ton of paper. But it's just
No,
it's
that's
lightweight.
great.
That's what I
No,
like about it.
yeah, I like that binding set up there for it. That's
Yeah,
good.
and it opens almost. I mean, it's not super flat, but it's not. It's and then this is kind of my go-to. I've had this for a while. That I don't know when I started it, but I took this on vacation too. But I've had this for a while. I like having a nice black hardcover sketchbook. That's kind of the
Hmm.
traditional sketchbook. And this is a Strathmore, and Strathmore doesn't make black sketchbooks anymore. I bought this. This is one of the last things I ever bought at Triangle A&E
Huh.
before they went out of business. But I've had this for a couple years. I don't know when. I don't know. I bought it. And it was a while before I broke into it and started using it. Um, but these Strathmore ones, I like the paper. It's kind of smooth.
Uh-huh.
And but this is the book that
That's got a lot of
let me see if I can
great
find.
sketches in it. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I mean this is a big sketchbook for me is kind of hard to carry around. 'Cause, I mean it's hard to draw. I like here it's okay because it's laying flat, but
Hmm.
like it sitting in a car, sitting on the couch or whatever, it can be a little
Hmm.
awkward. But I've taken this on my
And I
vacation
tell
like a
you
couple times ago
what,
on
you are
vacation.
one of those guys that follows that age-old advice of always being at the ready. If you're gonna call yourself an artist, be ready to whip out some art. Having your
Yeah.
tools around, you know,
Oh, I try to
you're
always
very
and
good at that.
see this. I put one of these little things. You can buy these. I bought this online. It's a little elastic thing you can stick a pencil in. So if I wanted to stick a pencil and just carry this around, that would be acceptable. I mean, that'd
Hmm.
be. So here's some drawings. I did this. This is you. We were at
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
that's the food court downtown, the one
Yeah.
underground,
Yeah.
and then that's the coffee shop there in
Which has
Leadership
been
Square. The
devastated,
de-
like our country.
yeah.
It's just been it's no longer a going concern. Yep.
See,
Boy.
so this is a restaurant in New Orleans that Michelle and I ate at
Uh-huh.
back in
Cool.
August.
I dig the
Uh,
posture on the waitress. That's cool.
oh yeah, I liked how she was kind of
Leaning
leaning back.
back.
She had her leg
Yeah,
kind of kicked
sure.
back. Yeah. This is the
Okay.
New Orleans Public Library Annex. I was going there for a book. They had a book sale, and so I was waiting for it to
Mhm.
open. And this is just, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a list. I was going on a trip, so I was making a list when I go on a trip. That's that sushi place downtown at Leadership Square. Oh, this is my thumbnails that I did
Did you
for.
have sushi? Did you eat sushi?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, I do. It's not my favorite, but I think it's a sushi place. There's like a Japanese kind of restaurant
Oh,
down
okay.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of over there by the bathrooms,
Yeah, yeah. A little teriyaki kind
by
of.
the elevators.
Yeah, little.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they have sushi rolls though.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there's my thumbnails. Oh, so here's my painting that failed. I don't know if you remember the drawing I did of the cover all in pencil.
Uh-huh. Oh,
I
yeah.
attempted to paint it in gouache last night, and I just got out of control on me. I didn't have,
Well,
I don't
is
know.
the experiment waiting for you to go into it again and see how much you can paint over your gouache because all that
Well,
lacks is just the basic rules of you need contrast here and there. And so, make the what's his name, the spider, make the spider pop, or for that matter, just
yeah.
or
Well,
push or
I
make the drill motor even darker than anything else. Make it the foreground element by virtue of being real dark. I don't know, but anyway,
I haven't given up on it.
uh,
But at this point, I consider it kind of a noble effort. you
yeah,
know,
sure, sure, no, everything.
Whatever.
Mhm.
That's why you have a sketchbook, in my
Yeah,
opinion. I mean,
uh-huh.
I know people that never do this. I mean, you never see a drawing of theirs like this,
Yeah.
where they're trying to work out something,
Mhm.
or even like this, be like, no, I only do, perfect stuff, and I just fill mine with all kinds of stuff. More drawing from life, which I do a lot of. This is uh, this is downtown at Leadership
Mhm.
Square. This is right before thanks. That's the day before Thanksgiving. That's Thanksgiving at my mom's house. That's kind of the. I don't know if you've never been to my mom's house. She has a room on the back she had made or she had built, and it's got like chairs and stuff in it. It's kind of a little Florida room.
I was
Well,
going to say,
anyway,
you won't believe this. I was going to say it's a Florida room. I was just about to say that.
yeah,
Interesting.
Yep, that's what it is. I mean,
Hmm.
my grandma that lives in Florida had a Florida room in Florida, and
Uh-huh.
hers it had a screened in porch. It was a
Hmm.
screened in porch basically, and so you could
Hmm.
sit out there, But I mean, here you don't really have that because like today it's freezing cold. I
Yeah.
thought this Cyclops drawing came out pretty good. I like this.
Hmm.
This is I
Hmm.
don't know if you can see that. That's kind of
Oh, yeah.
the um
It's because you've pushed the straights on it and it's got a good line of action. Looks good. Yeah.
yeah, and something else I like is I haven't really been
It's
like
basically formed a triangle. The push straight on his
yeah.
left and the push straight of his eye beams. You've got a nice little composition
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and to me it kind of works. I like it because it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I could get the anatomy perfect or whatever. To me, this is
Hmm.
this is a comic drawing.
Uh-huh.
I did this at Christmas time. This is from Leadership School. I didn't date it. I should have dated it. Well, I started it and I didn't finish it. I was drinking coffee and I finished my coffee though. Oh, and I bought when we were in Florida, I bought a blending stump. Do you ever use a blending stump? Do you want to talk about
Not unless it's something that is called something else, and I
a
used it then.
tortillion?
Yeah,
It's
I don't
like a
know.
piece of paper that's rolled up, and you use it to like smear your pencils.
Yeah.
I used a little
Is
bit
that
on.
what it is? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Okay,
I used a little bit on this.
okay.
I bought a 2-pack. It was like $1, so I bought 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
These are some failed ink drawings. This is from when we went to Pensacola a few weeks ago. This is day after Christmas.
That's
We did a
cool.
place called the Shrimp Basket.
You've got an eye for you've laid out so many grids. You've got a really good eye for just laying down naturalistic
Oh yeah, I don't have to.
observational sketches. They're really good.
Yeah, so you can see here I use the blending stump on a lot of this to get some grays in there. I kind of like it. I don't want to do people will go crazy and do a whole picture with all smeared
Yeah.
pencils. I don't like that. So this is so so if you want to say you say I have an eye for this. Literally, Michelle and I ordered some coffee. We went to this place downtown Pensacola, and we ordered coffee. And I sat down, and while Michelle went to the bathroom, they were making our cappuccino, and I drew this before she got out of the bathroom, and they were done with our cappuccinos. So I mean, there's not a
That
lot of
quick.
detail
That
there.
quick.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
That's a pretty quick study. Yeah.
yeah. And what's funny is the girl came over and was talking, saw me drawing and was talking to me after I got done. She was talking to me, and so I put it on Instagram and tagged the coffee place, and they posted it on their Instagram. And then one
Cool.
morning,
That's the way to
while
get.
Michelle was a little bit of thing.
Mhm.
This is our hotel lobby. One morning, normally Michelle gets up and gets in the shower before me, and then when she's drying her hair and putting on makeup and stuff, I'll take a shower. Well, I woke up, I couldn't sleep, so I woke up and I got up before her. So I got in the shower real quick, and then I went downstairs and went in the lobby, and I got me some coffee, and I sat in the coffee and drew. This is the Holiday Inn Express, and you probably can't tell it because it's pretty loose drawing, but this is like an easel where they put like "Welcome to Holiday Inn," and it had very neat little penmanship, and it had a little weather doodle where it was like a sun with clouds on it and stuff, and the girl was doing it. And I'd noticed it, and she was doing it that day. And I said, you enjoy doing that, don't you? And she goes, oh, it's the thing I look forward to every day, which I thought was pretty funny. And this is my Wonder Woman I painted.
You're a gouache Wonder Woman. You know what I'm going to do? I have been watching so much stuff about gouache and acrylic gouache, and there's no way to get around it. The only way I can really make my decision on whether I want to go in this direction or not is to get some materials. So I'm going to get one acrylic gouache, white and black of each.
Oh, okay.
Just white and black, so I can mix color, and both of those will be kind of opaque, so I won't get a real good feel for the transparent of the family of gouaches, but I should be able to get an idea if I like gouache or not.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I bought this high dollar set, which is like 5 colors. But
oh yeah, you paid too much for it because it was in a boutique.
Well, it's in an art store, but
yeah.
But I mean, I paid like $10 too much, so it's not like I got completely screwed. But I'm kind of torn on the gouache, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
To me, it has a looking at it, this one's not too bad. I think this one came out okay. But to me, when you lay it on thick, it has a very like poster paint look about it.
Yeah, it's chalky. Yeah.
It's chalky, exactly.
No, that's one of its things. It is not a you can do all kinds of stuff with oil. They have what you call oiling out, but you know what? A lot of people like that matte that it produces by being a very chalky pigment.
Well, this one really, to me, I mean, the black, that looks really chalky.
Hmm.
Now, I think in the future projects, I'm going to use gouache strictly as a more like a watercolor type
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I'll probably use it thinner than, um, because I think it looks pretty good, like on this Wonder Woman drawing.
Hmm. And it
I
will
think
let
this,
you
I think this looks
reactivate it.
pretty good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes. Oh, I've got this palette right here. This palette, uh,
You can just
I like all of that spider. This has been sitting here, and if I put water on this, these would be good to go.
start using it again, huh?
Yeah, it's kind
I've
of
been watching
crazy,
Jeff
but they're
Jeff.
getting muddy.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching Jeff Watts do some gouache painting, and I tell you,
Maybe I
it's
need to watch him.
yeah. Well, I'll send you the link to the one I was
Yeah,
watching
send me a link.
because he starts out by showing you his little kit for doing the work, and it's a pretty cool little kit. It might give you a lot of ideas on
Oh yeah.
some setup stuff and like that.
When you say
I
when
always
you say
appreciate that.
kid,
Well, it's how he typically says if I'm leaving, and I'm going somewhere to paint with my gouache, he's staying right there in the studio that day, but
right?
he has this little kit,
Oh yeah.
like he points out. He one of the best things to mix in is he likes metal. He likes like an Altoid tin to mix on
Oh yeah. I've heard people say that.
versus the plastic. You know.
So I have this, and I've taken this to like Free Comic Book Day. This is Campus is the brand. I don't know anything about them. I got this at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or somewhere, and it was like $20. But it's even got a little brush here. But
Oh
it's
yeah, look at that.
watercolor. But look at this. It's like I don't know if that'd be considered a half pan or what. But if you had this in your bag
Yes. Yeah, you
and
could.
one of those water pens, you know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
the kind that had
Yeah,
the
yeah.
you could go to town.
Hmm.
So I didn't take this with me when I went to Florida because I didn't think I'd do any painting, but I may start carrying this with me when I go like downtown or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
I don't know if,
little quick accents. Yeah, you bet.
yeah. Anyway, so that's the painting. I'm having fun, but I don't think it's kind of one of those deals where it's one of those deals where it's depressing because I look at it and I go, I don't know if I'll ever get decent at this.
Well, yeah.
You know.
You got to be like Hawkeye. You got to just depend on getting better every day. You don't ever think about how good you are at any one point in time.
Yeah, well, that's true. You're right. You're right. That is when I'm this age, I'll be this and this,
Yeah,
and I'll just keep working at it.
that's what
That is
Hawk.
true.
That's what Hawkeye
Yeah,
said about being 100 years old. He said, I plan on being
yeah, I'll be the
just that
madman
better.
about madman about drawing.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I agree with that. But I enjoy painting, but it's kind of embarrassing to put my paintings like on social media because it's like, oh god, you know. I mean,
Hmm.
and the problem is I'm friends with people that paint better. But the good thing is most of my comic friends don't paint, you
Hmm.
know. But
No,
here's the bad.
there's nothing that could expand you more than deciding, hey, I'm going to get better at this painting. Believe me. Uh,
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with that.
I felt like it was like something that I'd always been missing when I took just one of those Jeff Watts classes when they had me painting with that charcoal in their Riley method. It's like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my gosh, this is the key. This is what I was missing. On
That reminds
how
me.
to think.
That reminds me. I didn't. I showed you that picture. Oh yeah, I showed you that the Jack Ham book
Hmm.
where the guy's like, "Here's how you draw the figure," and it's
Hmm.
literally like straight up the Riley method.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
got that little starfish. It's one guy
Yeah.
called it when I was in a class, and it's It's a
Oh,
and
you told me
I tell
that.
you what, Glenn Orbick was a big one for the starfish. Everything he started out, if it's the right angle, the starfish is applicable. But to show everybody what I'm talking about here, we'll real quickly. It's the starfish. I'll go solo to explain it. Here we go. Let's see if I can manage to figure that out. Solo layout. There it is. Okay. Okay. The starfish. Explained to me
I'm gonna watch along.
by a guy named Nia. I think it's how do you spell Nia? Something like that. Nhia. Anyway, he was a hard
I don't know.
taskmaster.
I have a relative named Nia.
Yeah. So you're starting your quick sketch, and I'll show you what I did as a quick sketch. And I do this all the time because there's nothing that guarantees you. And here I am doing a pencil preliminary on it, but why not? Okay, so here's the heart and core of the starfish is this little thing that says, okay, that little architectural thing. And then this goes down to the crotch, kind of like you're designing a superhero costume. That little triangle and that little triangle. And then you're just guaranteed gesture if you start with something like that. And see, that little figure right there is ready for all of your anatomy knowledge and all that, but you're laying it on top of something that's willowy and what do they call that, rubber hose animation
Yeah.
of and it's cool. See how much anatomy knowledge I have laid on top of that thing right there, to where it didn't have to stay that willowy, but I'm building on that willowiness, and
Right.
it's kind of groovy, and it just gets you there in for a quick life study or whatever is that little set of rules. And see, there was also no stultifying drawing of a cube or anything like that. All I was doing was measuring with something that was pure gesture, you know, and going beyond the measure. I brought the measurement back to correct after I'd laid down the rhythm of it or whatever, the gesture of it.
I think that which by the way, you showed me the starfish a while back, and that has kind of stuck with me
Mm-hmm.
some. And I've tried to go back to that, and I think that the starfish and the Riley method are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, yeah. No, that's where it's coming from. Yeah, that's that was his one of his things to start his students saying, "Look
Do
at
the
this."
starfish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's a good uh, starting
Oh,
block because
I'm still
you're starting from
solo.
gesture. Of
Glad I
course,
didn't do that.
the
Okay, there we go.
that one book I have, he completely rejects the idea of gesture. You know,
Oh,
but
really?
not
From
well,
Riley?
but
From
only
Riley?
no, it's not a Riley. No. It's that Tom Fox book I have that I bought over the summer. His thing, but
Well, your
his
your
thing
job
is.
is to reject him.
Well, he has. Yeah, I mean, Bridgman isn't really about jet. Well, no, he kind of is, isn't he? And depending
Oh
on which
yeah,
book
oh
you
yeah,
look
yeah,
in,
yeah.
yeah.
Bridgman is all about the being an illustrator that's going to create a figure that's got what did he call it? Yeah, he's got a line of. It's not a line of action. That's kind
The
of a new,
wedge.
yeah, kind of a new term, I guess.
Well, I think that the correct path in this is as an artist to take in all this stuff,
Hmm.
and then but you figure you have to assimilate it, And
Hmm.
I think it's very rare that an artist reads a like a figure drawing book or a how to book, and is immediately like, oh my gosh, this is the missing key. I mean, of course the exception is Frazetta, who did that with Bridgman
Hmm.
famously. But for the most part, I think you kind of read it, and you kind of go, well, here I like this, I don't like that,
Hmm. Oh, I've got
you
I've
know.
got
But
I've got one of the greatest painting books of all time by what's his name? But anyway, it's just an awesome thing. A guy. It's like owning these books by these great Disney illustrators, and then not cracking them or trying to do the lesson materials that they're giving you. You know,
oh yeah,
you just dig looking at the art. What's that called? The illusion, not
yeah,
the illusion of life. What's it? What's that called?
the illusion of life.
No,
That's a
no. There's
Disney
a
book.
yeah, yeah. Oh, anyway. Well, I've done another. I did that thing. You said you liked it. I think it was on my Tumblr. I think
Oh yeah,
you
that was
liked it.
cool.
My
Which
my
one? Your comic?
yeah, sleaze chop from my
Oh yeah,
blank comic book page. Now this is funny because I thought I was being a big deal buying that on Amazon, and then I was looking for
yeah.
my Jack Ham book, and I looked up there and I said, "What's that thing?" I pulled it out, and I'd already bought it before, but this one's different because they are. The other one is just the same layout, the same panel layout. This one is different on every page,
Uh,
but it's front and back,
oh
and
yeah.
the back ones are useless because there's so much. Well, if you use any sort of wet medium, it just goes
Mm.
right through them.
Oh yeah,
The
that's a cool little exercise though. I'd buy me one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah. It just makes you say, okay, this is a dumb little thing. I mean, just the moment you start any mark, it's like, okay, what is that? Okay, it's going to become this. Yeah. It's like
Oh yeah.
what they used to a jam session with they used
Oh
to
yeah.
we used to call them jams. We'd show up at Denny's and we'd start on one page with some sort of broad theme, and back at the old Tuesday art group. As a matter of fact,
Yep.
I even published a Lulu. Is that Lulu? Yeah, Lulu copy of all of our little jams. I think a lot of the guys that used to show up at Denny's bought that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we just we thought we were pretty hilarious too. Typically,
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
yeah.
Were they all video game guys or just different art
No,
guys?
just all kinds of guys. Scott Benefiel was one of them. Uh, Jeff Ranjo, Rick Schmitz, Dave Dakota, just just a bunch of really good pals that during that era we were all just life drawing and having a good time. It was a great time to be in San Diego. What can I say?
Oh
I
yeah.
it was early '90s, late '80s. It was awesome.
Oh dude, yeah. You definitely
You talk about
if
an era that I've been getting into. Of course, it's me and Mad Men, early
oh
'60s.
yeah.
Right now, I'm finishing the series off, and it's 1969. So they're almost done. They've had their. I can't wait to see how it wraps up. But it had one great. See if this goes. See if you figure this out the moment I say it. It's just a great line of dialogue. I'd tell you to go to hell, but I never want to see you again.
Okay. Wait, what?
Do you get it?
Yeah,
Guys,
I don't want you following me into the afterlife, and I know where I'm going.
yeah, exactly. I thought that was pretty damn clever.
It's a put down, but at the same time, it's self-depreciate. What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Self-depreciate because
yeah,
it is does not come from a self place of
yeah.
sanctimoniousness.
Yeah, exactly. Tell you to go to hell, but I never want to see you again. He's throwing a hobo out of basically a whorehouse, and he's the kind of like the main pimp, whatever you call him. The whorehouse, he's just kind of like security or whatever.
I need to send you somewhere. I have a PDF that's called "The Madmen Guide to Self-Defense," and it's kind of like this. I don't know where they got the illustrations, but it's all like 50s judo or 60s judo kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
Kirk would use kind of stuff. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like
with the big,
flips
big,
and
yeah. Oh well, hell, judo is
it's hilarious.
judo, and that sort of kind of anything involving a unbalancing of an opponent is pretty basic to all of us as kids.
Sure.
We were instant judo experts. We knew how to fight. You know,
Oh yeah.
as kids
Yep.
trying to get the better of each other. And there's not much to it. You know, you go for a superior position, as Hickson Gracie would tell you.
Yep.
You know, try to pin the guy and to where he can't do anything. Yeah, Mad Men is just so damn good. It's been well, I say it's great. It's actually can be kind of uneven because it's just great at some things, but it's other stuff. It's like, do I really want to go here? You know, so it's like everything. You know, any
Yeah.
soap. It's definitely any soap opera. It's like I don't like this guy as much as I like this other guy.
I would. There's a library book you should check out, and I can't remember the name of it. It's by a guy that worked in advertising in the '60s, and
Uh-huh.
supposedly he was an inspiration for some of Mad Men. And I don't know if I don't know if his memoirs were used as a source or something, but I'll try and find that. So I think I
Well,
have I
they
think I
talk a
got it.
lot about there's mention made of you know, trying to sell books about their lives. So yeah, it might be. It might be.
Yeah. Apparently, there's some guy that did it that worked at some big ad agency that did like Volkswagen ads and that sort of
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
all the big ads.
That's
Yeah.
the one of the first ads we see Don contemplating is a Volkswagen ad that just has the headline "Lemon," and that was a very famous
Oh
ad. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, we won't deny it. It's in the shape of a lemon, and it you know, and it gives all its you know, technical things. It might be lemon
Attributes.
like, but you're going to like it anyway. And because that, you know, that sort of you know, plays with your expectations and makes you laugh, and you know, so every guy had it as a pull out, a tear out when he got there to work that morning. Everybody had looked at it.
Yeah. In the advertising business,
Hmm.
I have a JPEG of an ad. I think I got it off of Pinterest or whatever, but it's a it's a it's a Porsche ad, and it says like it's 22 years old. It doesn't have
Aha! Yeah.
traction control or this or that, and it only has 288 horsepower. It says "Want a race?"
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds a lot like their little moment when they were talking about the campaign for Jaguar
Oh yeah,
uh, during the show. Yeah.
oh yeah. They were not extolling its technical virtues or its
Hmm.
high tech virtues, but its pedigree,
Hmm.
I guess.
By the way, General Grudge says, "Hi, guys."
Hey, General Grudge.
I hear the phrase "hi guys" and it makes me think of that.
The Room.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that is where it comes from, isn't it? But it's from
I think it's
oh,
Oh
the
Hi
guy that
Guys.
Neil Hamburger's character has got another character on. Oh yeah, at the cinema with that comedian. Oh, now we have to come up with a complex German name. Heinlecker. I can't think.
Heinlecker.
Yeah. Oh,
What?
he's got the. You ever watch that show with Doctor Steve Brule with
No.
Okay, never mind. I'm never gonna connect all the pieces I need to tell
Gotcha.
you.
Tell me this extravagant story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We were talking at work today, and there's somebody, I won't say his name, but his last name is a definite German name,
Hmm.
and so we're talking about, is he German? And
Hitler.
we're like, oh yeah, he's definitely, yeah. His last name is Hitler. Joe Hitler, my coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, he's definitely. We decided from his personality, he definitely had to be German, and that evolved into talk about if anyone's made a Hitler simulation game, a video game.
You know what? People would buy it, but
Oh, absolutely.
it just couldn't get made. You know.
Oh no, it's, no. There'd be, well,
Yeah.
nowadays it'd be
Kanye could
yeah.
make it, I guess, but he'd be the only one.
I guess yeah. Yeah. Oh, Kanye. I kind of like Kanye. I don't know what's happened to
You
him.
know what?
Well, he
I don't think I've actually heard a single piece of his music in my life, so I know nothing
oh he
about
did.
the guy.
Oh, I have a couple of his albums on my phone. He did. I'll tell you. He did a song called Stronger.
Hmm.
That his video is a, we'll say homage. I'll be generous. Is a homage of Akira. It's got several scenes.
Oh,
He's
really?
riding a motorcycle, and it's, yeah, yeah, yeah. You should check it out. It's on
Okay.
YouTube. Look for
Well,
that.
that'll be the first
Um,
piece of
and
music I
and
expose myself to. Then.
and the well, that was my first exposure to Kanye, because I heard Stronger when I was in New York at the Da Vinci art supply store,
Hmm.
and Stronger, it samples a lot from the, oh, what's the band? There's a band that does techno stuff, and they wear helmets. Two guys.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Daft Punk, maybe.
Daft Punk. They had a song called Stronger, and this
Hmm.
is kind of a remake of that.
Hmm.
Or I haven't compared the two, so I don't know how much he uses from theirs. But anyway, I heard it. I was in New York, and I had gone to the New York Comic Con, and it was over, and we were spending the next few days in New York, and I was shopping for, and it was one of those things that made an impression on me, because the whole theme of the song is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger,
Hmm.
you know. And of course, I just got back from this convention with, showed my portfolio, and it's typically disastrous kind of stuff,
Hmm.
and so I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. That made me pay attention to the song.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Well, as an artist, he got through to you.
yes.
That's all his job is to do is to get through to his somebody to let you appreciate him.
No, yeah. I mean, and he's always kind of been, in my opinion, not knowing anything about hip hop or punk, or not punk, rap music or whatever. I felt like he's always kind of been an outsider. He's been popular, obviously. I mean, he's a billionaire,
Hmm.
but he's kind of a creative. He does fashion, and he does. But I think he's always. I guess he did beats for a long time, and it took him a while to kind of break in with his own music. Which is, I think, I don't know. Everybody loves an underdog, but I
Oh
really
yeah,
love an
yeah, yeah.
underdog.
Hmm.
And he always kind of had that. Even though now, of course, that's decimated because he's certainly made his mark. You know,
Well,
but
he decided to self-destruct. I mean, it was some sort of. I think some people are almost compelled to do it, and
yes,
it may have something to do with if you've had it hard enough in life, you've always wanted to go on. The whole point of in the back of your mind, if you had the term "f you money"
oh
at
yeah,
any time in terms of a goal, well, what good is FU money unless you can make it clear who you want to tell FU to, you know? And
yeah.
there's he obviously had a deep need to tell that particular demographic to FU, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Jim Carrey's kind of the same way. Not about Jews though.
yeah.
He seemed to need to tell everybody that had a even a slightly different notion about anything than him that you can just go screw yourself. Politically, one of those guys that
Yeah.
dug in deep politically in terms of like being anti-Trump and all that.
Well,
Yeah,
Kanye was pro-Trump, so
yeah. It's kind of
but
weird. Balances out.
yeah, he kind of and I think that he I don't know. I think part of I mean that's part of the thing that makes people hate him. I think some of what I think he'd be in a lot less hot water with certain people if he had not gone that route.
Oh
But
yeah. No. That's one of the only
and
reasons
then
to hate him. Yeah.
then he became a Christian and very
There you go. There's
vocal.
another
Yeah,
one.
so he's like the double whammy of the stuff.
What
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 do
is it
people
you
most?
want, Kanye? Do you want
Yeah, did
everybody to
you
hate you?
do
Yeah,
you want people to literally crucify you in the street because
yeah.
it's the double whammy of and I mean I'd
Yeah.
say that as somebody that likes Trump and is a Christian,
Hmm.
but I'm not a rapper and I'm not in public media and all that stuff. But
They've
he,
got you talk about clever stuff on Mad Men. Like, see if you know this joke because it's a bunch of people are laughing over obviously having said the punchline. Does this joke mean anything to you if you just have the punchline? Because I had to look it up. The punchline is hell. I'm telling everyone.
oh yes.
Oh, okay, you know the joke.
Oh, wait, that's from Madman.
Yeah. But it just
I
shows a
don't think
crowd of
that
people laughing at the joke.
I don't think that joke worked in the '60s.
Oh, really?
Because, because the okay, so the way I heard the joke and
Okay, go
I
ahead.
is the actual punchline is tell my doctor, hell, I'm telling everybody. And what
Yeah.
and what the joke that I heard was so different drugs and I think it was what is it, Viagra. It's like, well,
Uh-huh.
if you have an erection that lasts more than 24 hours, tell your doctor. And he's like, tell my doctor. Hell, I'm telling everybody.
That's pretty much the joke, isn't it?
Is that the joke?
Pretty much.
Well,
I
they
did a
didn't they
search
didn't have
for it. He says,
they
okay,
didn't.
another old joke. He says, a man goes to a confession. Man,
Okay.
Father, I have lived in sin. Priest, we are all weak at times. Tell me what is on your heart. Man, last night I had sex with the seven most beautiful women on earth, one after the other. Through the night, they kept asking for more, and I couldn't resist. Priest, all right, how much time has passed since your last confession? Man, I've never been to confession before. I'm not even Catholic, I'm Jewish. Then why are you telling me all this? Hell, I'm telling everyone. So that's that version of it.
That's funny. That what's funny is the punchline's identical and the setup is
Yes,
darn close.
that is a lesson in jokes. You could write probably several jokes with "Hell, I'm telling everyone."
I'm telling everyone.
Yeah, Why are you telling me this? Hell, I'm telling everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched the first season of White Lotus. You probably never seen that. It's on
No, I don't.
HBO Max. I have
Uh,
HBO Max. And you know, I'm always looking because I'll watch an episode or so of TV before I go to bed at night. And I'm always kind of looking for something. For a while I was watching MASH, but I'm always kind of looking for something, and I kept seeing ads for it because I guess the new season came out. This show White Lotus,
mhm.
and it's one of those shows that you just are like, why am I watching this? These people are all terrible, you know?
That's interesting about Mad Men. I have bounced off of it before. I started to try to watch it, and it definitely didn't get a hook in me, and didn't like the characters. That my quick little scrape with them.
No, yeah, that was what me
But
and Sopranos.
yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sort of thing happens. You give something another chance, and it's like, okay, yeah, I dig
I
this.
think I think sometimes some of these people that do kind of like despicable things, if you're not
Yes,
prepared,
that's it.
it repels you. You know, if
Yes,
you have any kind of, but
yeah, yeah. These people in Mad Men, they are at turns. You really hope for the best for them, and at other times it's like, hey, call the cops on this
yeah, you
on
could
this
all
guy.
die. You can all
Yeah,
die. That's all of.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don Draper is a great man. You want this guy to win on in so many ways, on so many levels, and then another way, it's like, you bastard. What in the world? Why would you sabotage yourself so badly? And it's like, okay, that's just humanity right there. I
Yeah.
think what I
Well.
think what you would really like about it, it is probably one of the smartest examinations of office politics you could
Oh really?
possibly dip
Oh,
into.
I love me some office
Yeah,
politics.
yeah, it is.
I'm all about the office politics,
Well,
dude.
you would dig it just for that because it is
I'll,
very
I've
very
been
fun.
meaning to check it out because it's on Prime, I think, or it's on Freeview or whatever,
Yeah, it's on Freebie. It's where I'm watching it,
which
and
is
the
Prime.
commercials are pretty painless. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's on Prime.
Yeah, or I mean, I think you can get it just on Roku,
Oh, oh, really? Oh, that'd be.
Freeview or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
yeah, 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 yeah. Sure. Yeah, yeah. That is one of their offered channels, I think.
Yeah, we watch a lot of Pluto TV.
Oh, really?
There's
That's
well,
got way too many commercials. Yeah.
it does have a lot of commercials. Well, you know it's funny. Michelle and I watch. This will crack you up. On Pluto, we watch the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, Pluto's got. You're right. It's got some great stuff, but I just bounce when they try to feed me 5 minutes worth of commercials. I can't stand that.
Oh yeah, they got old Doctor Who too, which
We-
I kind of like.
of course, it's really funny to think about uh, watching Mad Men while I'm a guy that's cut the cable and I'm totally repulsed by commercials, and here they are
Yeah.
just feeding me with all this stuff I'm just hating.
Well,
It's
but
like,
it's an interesting. I think. I mean, I haven't watched. I may have seen like the first episode or one episode, but like I said, I listened to that audiobook, and it is like a different. It's a different era,
yes,
but it's also and not just like, oh yeah, it's the '60s and women were treated different and men were different,
hmm,
but that is a that advertising culture is something that's gone, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I won't give you any spoilers whatsoever, but it is great for its recreation of New York City in
Oh yeah, in the
1960.
'60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I think I would dig that. I think.
But see, I'm just like right now. It's about to end, and I'm really admiring the way they are depicting hippies Because I'm like Rush Limbaugh. I was right in the midst of it. I saw it all happening and coming up, and I hated hippies. I'm just like
Yeah.
Limbaugh. And so seeing these hippies as as just all of a sudden spontaneously erupting from it just seemed like the ground, and everybody was a hippie. It really it's kind of scary, but they capture that just right. It's just like all of a sudden that influence is everywhere.
That's funny. I blame the Beatles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Limbaugh.
Oh yeah.
I think he had some of the traumas I did or something, because he really, every time he'd bring up, there was no nostalgia as far as Limbaugh was concerned for hippies.
Well, then also liberals are that's all they are. A lot of them
Yeah,
politically are
yeah.
just
Oh, yeah, yeah.
just this hippies have sold out to the system.
Yeah, exactly. BLM is just seems very familiar to me. To
Yeah, I mean it's
from that era. It's like that's what I couldn't get
uh,
over. Go ahead.
what? Oh, about the BLM. Yeah, it's like
Not
done this
BLM
before.
so much as Antifa. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The in, in the White Lotus, there's this woman, and White Lotus is about this. The White Lotus is a chain of high end resorts. Okay,
Hmm.
and they're very exclusive and very expensive, and so all the people that are there are rich. And there's this woman, and she's widowed, and she's just kind of one of these old ladies that is just like, oh, I've got to take all these vitamins, and I've got all this stuff wrong with me, and she just deals with this trauma of her mom. She carries her mom's ashes with her everywhere,
Huh.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she meets this guy, and he tells her that he's involved. He works for BLM, and so she's like, oh, and so they get to talking, and he tells her how he was in Colorado somewhere, and then he heard they needed something, and so he moved over to BLM, and he does. I forget what he said he did, but she's like, "Why do you do that there? That doesn't make any sense." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, BLM," and he goes, "Yeah, Bureau of Land Management."
Yeah.
She thought she was being this great,
Yeah.
enlightened liberal who's dating this white guy who's involved in BLM, and no, it's he worked for the Bureau of Land Management. Um, you were talking about hippies. That reminds me, not because he is a hippie, but I've recently, I recently checked out a Wally Wood book from the library. Last Friday, I went downtown, and the library has acquired a book called The Life and Art of Wally Wood,
Oh, cool.
which is not as it's not as interesting as I hoped it would be, because it is all essays about Wally Wood, but some of them are with people that knew him, so that's pretty
Uh-huh.
cool. It's volume one. Then, but I don't know how I got a Steve Ditko kick, and there's a couple books out on Ditko. Well, that's
Hmm.
what it was. I was looking to see if the library had anything on Ditko, which I thought they did at one point, but they don't. So I don't know if it's been lost or stolen or what. But so I looked on Amazon at Ditko books. Oh, no, no, no. I was looking oh, I know what it was. I was going to Ditko.com, which is his family's thing. And there's a book called, what's it called? Mysterious Traveler, The Life and Philosophy of Steve Ditko. And
Ah.
it's like more of a esoteric examination of Ditko's work in conjunction with his philosophy.
His Ayn
And
Rand philosophy. Yeah.
yeah, it sounded really. I mean, I admire Ditko a lot. I I was at New York Comic Con one year, and I was at a Marvel. I think it was a Marvel. Yeah, it was a Marvel panel, because the guy that wrote that Marvel book was there, and I was like, oh, I wish I had my book. I'd have him sign it.
Hmm.
But Denny O'Neil was there, and Denny O'Neil was talking about how he was. I, I don't care for Denny O'Neil, and that interview or his talk did not make me like him anymore. He talked about how he was trying to slip acid to Stan Lee in his coffee,
Ah,
and he also was very disparaging of Ditko, which I didn't care for too much. Not really as a creator, but more like personally, which uh,
that's just office politics. Ditko
yeah, yeah,
missed out. He's not going to be part of your clique.
yeah.
He's saying, okay, you do that. I'm going to do
I'm gonna
what
go home.
I do.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be part of your
Yeah,
Fumetti album or your
yeah,
your
exactly.
Marvel Flexi disc record that you're
Yeah,
put. Are you paying me for this? No, I'm
yeah.
not going to be in it.
Mighty Marvel Marching Society.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
what do
he
you
did.
what do you think, Steve?
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's silent, giving him the
Yeah,
finger
yeah.
or whatever. Maybe not
Yeah.
literally, but anyway, Denny O'Neil made the comment that somebody I forget what. Oh, and somebody said you should have done it to Ditko, and he said I don't think I ever saw Ditko drink anything as strong as coffee. Ditko never drank coffee or something like that. He didn't say never drank coffee. He just made the implication that he didn't think he ever drank anything as strong as coffee or something like that, which made everybody laugh. The way he said it, it was very mocking, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like he's playing with the fact everybody goes in with their own mental image of the subject,
yeah,
and the guy managed to be famous and among that little group, so you can play with the symbols without really saying a thing.
yeah. Anyway, that book, I think it's called Mysterious Traveler. That book is coming. For some reason, Amazon had the hardcover for like 80% off, so it's $100 book, and I got it for like $20 or something. Maybe it was something like that. It was a little more than that. I think it's like
Cool.
25, but it's like then they got a soft cover that's reasonable. But
Well, I caused the library to buy. They have that suggestion page, suggest a book. I think
yeah,
is just what it's called, and I suggested buying Simon and Kirby's library book of horror. They had science fiction, but
I think they've had
they
horror before.
oh really must have got
I think
stolen or
they
something. Yeah.
they'll have a book for a couple of years and get rid of it. It's the
Oh really?
weirdest thing.
Or
Oh
sell
yeah,
or sell it. Yeah, when
sell
it's
it at
time
the
at the auctions and
sell
all
at
that.
the library sale.
Yeah, yeah, the library sale. They don't auction.
Yeah. Oh well, that one guy I know bought like probably 100 Criterion DVDs or
Oh yeah,
Blu-rays for cheap. It was like, dude,
yeah.
you know, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put them on eBay.
Your tax dollars at work going into one guy's
Yeah,
pocket.
yeah. Well, and again, I emailed the library and complained about it. I mean, I just emailed them and said, why are you getting rid of? And they said, well, we get rid of books that don't rent out, or
Oh,
and I'm
they
like,
don't. Nobody else is renting them or whatever.
yeah, or check it. Yeah, that's what they said. It was frustrating because they one of the things they sold was the Friends of Eddie Coyle,
Uh huh.
and now they don't have a copy of it. You know, and
That's
I
one of
don't have
the.
any. I don't
That's
have a
one.
copy of it.
That's one
Yeah.
of. That's one in my Amazon library. That and the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Friends of Eddie Coyle, Charlie Varick. Yeah, I've got a couple good movies in the library,
well, the
Amazon.
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, that's a great movie. Great
Oh
movie.
yeah, yeah. I picked
That
up.
that is storytelling, man. That's
I
storytelling.
have the I have the I have the DVD, but I picked up the Blu-ray. They came out with a Blu-ray, like a Kino edition or something, not long ago, and I bought it. Yeah, I love that movie. Long time ago, I did a blog post where I I put the poster on it. I put stills. I used to love to make blogs. I don't know what happened to blogs. Social media killed them.
Yeah, I could go back to it and probably get just as much satisfaction. Some people made money on blogs. I don't know how you do it, but some people did.
Yeah, I still have my blog somewhere.
Yeah, I do too. I have all
Well,
my.
yeah, occasionally I'll post stuff to mine because I have one blog post where I've made kind of almost like a portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll link to that occasionally on social media.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're looking for an artist. Well, here, oops, sorry about that. Here's my here's my portfolio that I did.
Well, I did this today, Scott. We hit an hour, and
Yeah,
I did do a strip on my comic panel. I'll share it on what
yeah,
do you call
share
it?
it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll
Your
share it on
on
my
your
Tumblr and
Tumblr.
on my Instagram. You can get a high res version of it. It's just involves kind of a fiend without a face, kind of monster from Cthulhu. Inspiration catching a guy, eating him with the titles coming up very Ditko like, just calling it Beyond. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh wait,
Well,
what was that the thing you had earlier, or is this a different one?
this is in the same book. There's Sleeves
Oh,
Chop, and
oh, Sleaze Shop. That's
then there's this one. Yeah, the idea is this guy is walking around with deadly hands, and he karate chops you. You turn into the Dr. Hyde version of your Henry Jekyll. You turn into the
oh,
worst.
nice.
You turn into the worst version of yourself the moment he hits you on the back of the neck.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
I
do you want to say anything, or do you want to roll out here on a note of any sort?
No, thanks for watching this. I don't know if anybody from any of the links I posted watched this, but if you did, thanks for checking it out. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and
Please check us out, and
we do this every Thursday,
yeah,
unless I'm on vacation, 7 to 8 Central Standard Time on Ellis's YouTube channel.
yeah. Come to think of it, yeah, Scott is great at doing the intros and exits on their classic cinema podcast and your what's it called? The great better than fiction,
Oh,
right?
better than fiction. Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We're gonna record. We're recording 2 episodes tomorrow night.
What number are
I've
you
been.
at in that?
Oh my gosh, we're heading in on 500.
Woo. Wow. So
Yeah.
you guys search that out better. Well, it's in the links. I'm pretty sure. I think I've got that as part of my
Probably.
standard links.
No, that's cool. The tomorrow I've been reading an Avengers. It's a trade paperback, but it's called the Korvac Saga. It's a Bronze Age kind of little crossover between some Avengers and some Thor. It's got the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, and they fight this character called Korvac. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to kind of go into that, and then if I get my Ditko book in, it's supposed to come in tomorrow. I may talk about that if I get a chance to read it before we record.
Cool. Very cool. Okay. So we all done?
Yep, I think so.
Okay, doke. I can watch the rest of Mad Men season 7 after I'm done. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.